Hey everybody, what's going on? So check this out. I just picked up a new JP-2C. Those of you that follow the channel know that I had one of these years ago when they very first came out. Serial number that was pretty low. And that was before I had a band. It was awesome at the time. I also had a 2C++, had a Mark III, had a Mark IV. And when I started moving some stuff, the JP was the first to go. At the time, I could really get the recorded sound pretty darn close to my HRG C++, but the feel wasn't there, and it just didn't have the feels. And I've gone through lots and lots of amps since then. In hindsight, I was always like, well, now that I have a band, I kind of wish I would have had a chance to try that head in the band, because all the features that this thing has. It has the MIDI, the 3 channels, the 2 EQs. It could be super useful in the band. So when they decided to go back to the Schumacher transformers, I decided to go ahead and pick another one up that has the new Schumacher transformers, because a lot of guys are saying, hey, these things have better feels than the old ones. So I tried it. And it's been a couple years, so I really can't say definitively if it's better than the old transformers. It's nice, and I think it might be a little bit better, but I can't really say for sure because I don't have them back to back. What I will say is that, once again, with the 5 and the JP-2C, I think they almost kind of did themselves a bit of a disservice trying to say, oh, this sounds like a C++, because nothing's ever going to sound like a C++. Nothing's ever going to feel like a Mark II or a Mark III because they're just so raw and open and organic. Whereas, the 5 and the JP does, the tone is very much like a C++, but still, it's still got a modern compressed feel. It's like a modern version of that tone. If you go into it expecting it to be a modern version, kind of how like modern metal sounds different than classic metal, then I think you'd be a lot happier with it. And so I'm going to give it another try in the band. Honestly, I do think that the 5 and the JP hold together and do sound better for, like really down-tuned modern metal than the old ones do. The old ones sound better for that style because, that's what people were using at the time, the more raw, open, organic tone. So anyway, today what I thought I would do is I've got my Black Stripe 3 Plus here, 60 watt. I've got the JP that I'm going to put it on 60 watt. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a little tone comparison to see if some of this comes through. This Black Stripe, or no stripe really, 3 Plus, I've had 6 Mark IIIs, a couple of the 3 Pluses and Plus Pluses, and this one, being the no stripe, is definitely the closest to a C Plus in terms of just pure tone. Makes sense because it was the very first one they made next. And so let's see, the feel is not going to be the same, no matter what tubes I put in here, but the tone is still really good, and, in a way, I do think the JP's tone is still better than any Mark III because it really does have that C+ tonal character. It's just a different feel. It's modern and compressed. So if you can kind of imagine that. So yeah, let me just noodle around on some stuff here, and I'll do some quick little comparisons between the two. And keeping that in the right context, what do you guys think about the tones? All right, guys, later. Mark III. And the JP. All right, friends, so there you have it. So I've just had this JP for a few days now, the new one, and this is the first time I've really tried to spend some time to dial it in like an older, you know, Mark II or Mark III. And as I'm spending more time with it, I really do think this one with the Schumacher transformers is a little better and sweeter. It's a little more touch sensitive and organic than the old one was. You know, still, obviously it's still not going to be the same as a Mark II or Mark III in terms of the feel, but the quack is there and kind of the bloom of the notes is there. It's just a little more modern and compressed and congested. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with it, and I'm super looking forward to trying it in the band. And like I said, it's pretty awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let us know down below what you think about the difference in tone, just as far as what you could hear in the room. All right, later.